Behold, the dawn of the Nugget.
23 years in the making. The dawn of the Nugget is finally here. Does it do the chicken run name justice? Here's the review roundup. First up is The Hollywood Reporter's Leslie Felparen, who wrote, "The humor is mostly situational, playing off the disconnect between the chicken's innocent view of the world and the viewer's more experienced insight. The lack of cackle-worthy one-liners here and the entertaining but highly predictable last act make this a little bit snoozy for savvier viewers. After all, what could be more retro in a cartoon than a conveyor belt full of deadly dangers, a trope that goes back to the Max Fleischer cartoons of the 1930s. Up next is IndieWire's Sophie Kaufman, who wrote, "For all the painstaking visual detailing, Dawn of the Nugget falls foul of some standard issue sequel anxiety. Whereas the original shocked us early on by using noir-ish shadows to represent a chicken death, there is a risk-averse approach to showing anything like that this time." Next is Variety's Peter de Bruge, and he wrote, "The sequel doesn't offer many surprises plot-wise, but is consistently amusing in its dad-jokey kind of way. The folks at Aardman can hardly resist a good pun, and they load Nugget with a level of detail that will reward repeat viewings." We move on to Rolling Stone's Jake Francis, who wrote, "The key issue with Dawn of the Nugget is that it simultaneously feels all too similar to the original and also misses the mark on what made it such a treasured film. A fair amount of the cast is replaced, some for understandable reasons, some for less understandable reasons. Levi replaces Mel Gibson, and while there's certainly a logic to removing the latter from a film like this, Levi fails to deliver on the role and his voice work feels staggeringly flat. The verve and charm that felt so tangible in the performances of 2000's Chicken Run feels otherworldly compared to the relatively mundane performances of Aardman Animation's latest offering." Next is The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw, who wrote, "Some of the time I found the proceedings a little bit generic, like something you might put on an iPad to keep kids quiet, even if that is a noble enough aim. Also, some of the time, this new Chicken Run has the same flaw as the newer Pixar movies. A sense that the film could almost have been algorithmically fabricated through AI, especially here in the opening act." In the end, the film amassed a pretty good score of 81% from 26 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. A far cry from the amazing 97% score of the original. So this sequel may not live up to its excellent predecessor, but it does seem like the perfect opportunity to introduce your kids, or kids of this generation, to the awesomeness of Aardman stop-motion animation. Thanks for watching, and for more movie review roundups, especially for those on Netflix, you can check our videos for The Monkey King and Nimona.